We've got something really, really fancy in store for the back half of this bike, and that all starts today on Kruesi Originals. We're back. This is the next part that I'm pretty excited about. This is a Blockhead Moto carbon fiber fender. That is made by some real serious people in the carbon fiber and racing world. The quality of this is unreal. I'm not going to say that much about carbon fiber because it's really, really hard to get carbon fiber right. And just looking at this, 1 pound, 14 ounces of almost nothing, like a piece of paper, it is laid magnificently. These lines all go the exact same. The detail on everything it's nuts. To do that, that's a lot of work. They gotta have some kind of machine that I don't understand. This is badass. But I'm gonna take a saw to it. I'm gonna mock this dude in the bike and take some looks at it, play the imagination game a little bit. I don't have my bags right now because that stuff is at paint and powder coat, so it's gonna be real serious imagination. I'll probably pull some measurements so I can get like an imagination line, but we'll see what we can do. I'll make something happen, I promise. This is a good gauge on the quality, is how this fits. Normally you gotta file these guys out pretty good, which looks like I'm gonna have to file that dude out a little bit on each end. They get resin buildup, I think. Check this dude, yep. Perfect. That hole's a little big. This one's perfect. These guys need filed, which normally you always have to file them out a little bit, which I got the tools for that. Fabrication skills of a craftsman. And you're gonna need some precision, masterpiece, highest of quality files from Harbor Freight. A little bit of a roll and turn, roll and turn, roll and turn and roll. Just get that shit out of there from when they suck the mold together. This is fully acceptable. So a little disclaimer, I also have the prototype fender here because they weren't gonna have anything ready to go for me in time and I needed to get ahead of this. In order to have it painted and all that, no matter what, I think you're gonna have to file resin out. That just comes along with fiberglass or carbon fiber, anything that's got a resin poured into it. This takes a little bit. See how this dude fits already? I barely rubbed it. This is like a fingernail file. Look at that, perfection. So far, this thing is pretty amazing, especially for being a first test piece. They just popped out with this. I just go a little tiny bit at a time. Get a nice tight fit. Nice tight fit always feels the best. Yeah, look at that. You can snap that thing in there. That's what you want. You can look down on it, you can see the points. You know, if you line it up, you can see like the shadow points of what need to be filed off, and you just take a little tiny bit at a time, little detail file. Other side, this one is dialed. This one has way too big. It looks like it was cut out for some reason, but I can make that work. Let's make something happen. It's gonna be time to head over to the old imagination station, which actually, this being loose gives me a little manipulation room. That might have been why they did it. Get things to line up proper. I'll take a little bit out of there. Just take a little bit of this happy little tree right here. File some of the happy bushes off. Dialed. Got some Loctite on that bad boy. Hold. This fender is so light, if you don't have the weight of these, it wants to flop over. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's put it on. It's so nice when it's this light to put it on because I'm using my fingers, doing it all by myself. That might be worth it all together right there. You don't need to call a friend. This is a good looking fender. This is a OEM replacement. It doesn't have all the shit on the bottom, but you can bolt all that stuff on the bottom. It's got everything to bolt the stock lights in, or you could do some fancy custom dynamics lights down the center. This is a really good looking fender, and I just bopped it on there real quick. It's dead center. Not gonna see that in another carbon fiber fender. Just my own experience, usually gotta do some manipulation, get them loosened up, all that type of shit, which I have room to wiggle on this thing too, but look at that. Kind of looks good with a full fender. Yeah, she'd look good, huh? On a white bike, you can get that in gloss. We got the matte finish because we're gonna paint it anyways. But if you just bought that in gloss and bolted everything on it, you'd be done. do a center console. They've got those in carbon, a front fender on a white bike. That would make this really easy. They have a factory front fender. I have to make a phone call. That is a real pretty fender. Look at how the lines go this way, and then this is laid this way, and it goes right along the bend of the fender where it transitions. It goes up 2 different patterns, which I'm gonna paint the sides of it, and I really hate to do that because that shit looks really good. But I gotta fill these holes in. I'm probably gonna cut her off about here, and then have to cut some holes for tail light and license plate bracket. I'm gonna make some templates off of a stock DYNA fender, some paper templates, lay all that stuff out. So I'm gonna get to doing all that. I'm gonna take some measurements and I'll just draw on some stuff, I guess. Look at that guy. She's a little reddish and it hurts. Just add her to the rest. Haven't felt my foot since yesterday, but other than that, everything's fine. So I did some drawings and now I'm gonna do some cutting. I have a router. I use this for cutting plastic when I gotta do plastic stuff, because you can just go super precise. I don't think it will cut farbin. I don't think it'll fart farbin, but cut farbin, cut carbon. I just had a stroke. But I don't think it'll cut carbon. But I want to find out, so let's find out. Well, it's honestly pretty amazing. I cut through that thing smooth as glass. I need a long sleeve shirt. I'm about to get covered in carbon fiber. That realization just came to last right there. It's far, far worse than fiberglass. Working with fiberglass sucks, but I can handle that pretty well. Carbon fiber is like fiberglass with gas-covered razor blades in your skin. It sucks. Probably just gonna have to send it though. Probably gonna get a towel, lay something down here because I'm gonna have to flop this thing all over the place. I don't want to scratch it up. Even though it's getting painted, I just don't want to scratch it up. It makes the painter's job easier. Yeah, let me get set up and figure out how to keep the carbon off me as best as possible, and we'll come back to this. This guy was working fabulously and not really making much dust until just basically burned up. I only got about that much of cutting and the carbon was just too much for it. So we're going to a saw. It burned the bit up. Oh, I'm gonna be huffing. OSHA mask for safety and shit. Here she is, quick hack job. That's called saving the line right there. I'm gonna sand it to the line, go from there. I'm probably gonna build a block, sandpaper and block, and I'm gonna hand sand this dude out, possibly on the bike maybe. First I'm gonna take down some big edges with the old zit zit guy. Go from there. Next door, hand sanding time and blowing myself off time. I've got a very rudimentary shape so far. Now I'm gonna go through with a little sandpaper stapled to a block of wood, and I'm just gonna hand sand this dude until I get it right where I want it. But so far it looks pretty damn sick. I really love this motorcycle. So nice thing about a block of wood, you can go like this. Look at that, see that gap right there? The sunshine shining through there. I know she ain't flat. Oh, that sounds horrible. I must put earmuffs on. I can't handle that sound. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard or rubbing your hands on paper. Can't handle it. So I'm gonna level this dude out. And let's look at the difference already, just a couple passes. It's gotta hit this side now. Pretty much does the work for you if you let it. You can make sandpaper last a lot longer if you clean it out. Just loads up. Give it a little air, a little bang every once in a while. Same with a file. If you just clean them out, you can keep on sanding. I'm pretty good. 5 7/8 to the seam from the tip of the frame. 5 7/8 to the seam from the tip of the frame. Dialed calibrators right there. Good morning, everybody. What day is it? It's Wednesday. It's 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. It is a cool Arizona morning. It's only 76 degrees. That's pretty amazing for, it was 95 degrees a couple mornings ago. It's calmed down a bit. It's been great. I am drawing some stuff for the fender. Trent made a template for the taillight. I got to make some measurements on that, draw out the fender. It's going to be a bunch of centering line drawing today and a whole bunch of drawing. We're going to be drawing with a Sharpie, a lot. Then we're going to cut some holes, we're going to drill some holes, and we're going to finish this fender. And I'm gonna run it just like this because it's beat the heat this weekend, so I wanna hit that a bit. I'm gonna run a little carbon fiber fender for the weekend. Then we're gonna come back, tear the bike down, everything's going to paint, and we're gonna pretty much finalize this build in the next couple weeks. And you can come see it, whenever that is. December 14th, Austin, Texas at Cowboy Harley Davidson. We are going to be meeting up with Blockhead there. We're gonna ride out and meet each other. It's gonna be the final, the build-off final. You can come see the bikes. We'll have a People's Choice Award for best bike. We're gonna have stunt shows. We're gonna have bike shows, and we're all gonna be there just having a good time. Probably have some other homies come out and ride with us. It's gonna be a blast. Come out and check it out. Right now I'm gonna draw. I like drawings. This carbon is so well laid, and I'm running my center line off of right where this bend starts to curve down, right where this one curves down. But if you look at the bends, their carbon line, the dark line of the carbon is all right on the peak of the bend on both sides, all the way down perfectly. So I literally can just line my tape line up with, look, right on that dark line of carbon at the peak of the bend. Same on the other side, and then mark my center line. That's quality piece of carbon work right there. You can't do that with any other carbon fiber out there product. I would almost guarantee that. Now, I need to make a straight line. All right, now 2 3/8. There's my base. Let's double check it. This dude is gonna sit right here. It's pretty amazing. That carbon line is dead on, and I'm dead on center. So, got a beautiful center line. Everything's dialed. This is my center line on here. This is my bottom of the line. The bottom of the line is, I kind of want to stick this up here and gaze upon it a few times and see if I want to change it. Pretty dialed. Word. It's beautiful. Seamstress tape. You can get it at any craft store. It's a fabricator's best friend right there. You can do a lot of amazing stuff. If you ever need to like cut exhaust when you're making exhaust, this is a great tool for something you wouldn't think. Tech tip of the day. Say this is a big old exhaust pipe right here, and you want to make a nice straight piece to butt up to another piece, and your fitment needs to be perfect when you are doing that with that. So you take the old seamstress tape, wrap it around like this, come across onto itself so it's perfectly straight, and this will make a square line. Draw around it, cut it right there, bam, you got nice fitment. You also know that you can take these two lines right here, and that's how I check my square. I line the line up on both sides so it touches over here and it's over here. Then you know your square as long as your tape is straight. And then you can check off of the same point here for squareness. And then you can go over to this side, do the same thing, level it out the exact same way, check inside again. Boom, dead on squareness. Squareness, 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 lots of squareness. Don't be a square. I still got one more thing to draw. Ready to go. I got to put in the measurements for the license plate brackets, which I still have my center line. I should have plenty of enough space. So this is a rubber bushing from our lay down license plate bracket kits. I'm gonna use this as a template. I measured the distance from here to here, which is like factory late model DYNA, the bigger DYNA fender. This is the top hole center right here, ding. So I'm gonna put this dude up here and then I'm gonna trace this out. But first I'm gonna find center of this and mark it just so I have a good clean reference point. Something to eyeball off of, and the other thing. So we are 2 inches and 1/8, which that makes it a bitch. So we'll go 1 inch and 1/16. Now I got a little something. I'm just gonna eyeball the center of that on that hole. Center my shit down there. And I'm gonna drill these holes oversized anyways because easier to really center your license plate when you can move it around a little bit. Well, there it is. Phase 2 of hacking up a really, really expensive fender. I'm going to mount one of our lay-down license plate bracket kits. I run double rubbers on the back on a wide fender like this. Just give a little more clearance and kind of flatten it out a little bit because these are technically made for dynos, but they do fit on everything with just a little bit of shimming and going. This is an FXR division tail light bracket. These things are super handy for situations just like this where we have nothing to mount the tail light to, just a hole. This dude sandwiches right back here like that. And look at how perfect my measurements are too how this dude lays out. Bam. So then we're gonna drive this guy through here like this first. Nice and tight. Stay. Some washers. Can't wait to see this thing all put together. I'm fully mocked. This fender's going to paint. I'm going to take this all apart and send this fender to paint as soon as we're done with this. But I want to have it fully mocked up, fully together, so I can see that all my work's right, for starters. And just to get excited. Excited about what's to come. How far off am I? I think what I need to do is loosen the license plate bracket until I tighten this guy. And then this will be locked in place, and then tighten the license plate bracket. God, this thing looks amazing. I'll stuff all this stuff for now. Just gotta get a little bit of that resin out of there. It's a tight fit. And look at that. Perfect. Perfect fit. Throw a nice Kruesi Originals step up super gripper. Nothing says professional like a crescent wrench on a nice super fancy titanium bolt.
This expensive torque wrench mix up for the crescent wrench.
This is all put together. I need to find a little rubber guy to put right here. We're gonna take it down, take a nice look at it. Trent is finalizing the swing arm, torquing all that stuff down so it's done so I can ride it this weekend. This fender is gonna come right back off and that one's gonna go back on because this is gonna go to paint. And that's got a gap that I don't like. Might need a little bit of the manipulation. But yeah, I just want to take a good look at it, get excited, that kind of thing. We're gonna take everything off this lift, pull the bike down, look at it, and then I'm gonna put it back up here, take it apart again, and do it all over again. This bike is so nice. This thing rolls so good. It rolls better than the majority of Dynas I've moved around. This is the comfortable riding position on this bike. Even just like riding, I just sit like right, it locks you in so hard right here, you're just like right up on everything. I'm just, street glide is better, plain and simple. Just this right here, like I feel like I just have a little fairing and handlebars right here. I don't feel like I'm on a bike and I have a picnic table in front of me. I like the way road glides look. I'm not hating on them. I think looks wise, I'm a fan of the road glide, but riding wise and how the bike feels, 100% street glide. I feel like I'm on a small bike with a fairing on the front of it. I don't feel like I'm on a road sofa with a Lincoln Continental on the front of it. It's like having a Lincoln Continental hood on the front of your bike. I do not like it. I just don't feel secure. I don't feel nimble. Look at this gauge I have for turning into a drift right here. Whoa! It's like turning a yardstick. You're at 30 degrees angle. Bob, 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 bob. Pure luxury. The 24s, everything is closer and shorter too, so I'm just sitting up on it. Really, really nice.
You ready to ride to Texas?
Yeah, we're gonna ride to Texas in December to meet up with Blockhead for the final at Cowboy Harley Davidson, December 14th. Does anybody know how cold it's gonna be going over the mountains through New Mexico and all that stuff? How cold it's gonna be, period. Even in Arizona, it's gonna be cold. It'll probably be like 65 degrees here. If it starts snowing and raining and shit, I'm putting in a trailer. Y'all can kiss my ass with all your all your comments, and I put my time in, man. I proved I'm good. I don't got to do it. I'm put 25 years in on a motorcycle. 5 years, I had nothing but a motorcycle for my transportation, period. Didn't own a car, didn't drive a car, just a motorcycle. 5 years straight on a DYNA, T-Sport, everywhere, all over the country. No, thank you. Yep, it's gonna be a gnarly one. We're gonna ride out there. We're gonna do stunt shows when we get out there. We're gonna have a bike show when we get out there. It's gonna be super sick. The place looks like a drift track. The stunt lot is gonna be all around the building, so I'm like, want to drift around the building and do some really dope shit like that. So come out, Texas. Yerd, y'all better come out now. Year, that's yerd in Texan. Year. Oh man, I just started something right there. Feel free to use it. Feel free. I think she looks good. Fender looks good. I'm happy with it. Really like the swing arm. So there she is. We're at this point. We've got Kruesi Originals PFD rims with some custom finish on them that's extreme. Kruesi Originals North Star rotors. These are 12.6s or 12.8s up front, whatever comes factory on these dudes. Kruesi Originals floorboards, which brings us up an inch, but they're in the factory forward position. You can move these back 2 inches if you'd like to get in that mid-control stance, but this bike, it feels like mid-controls having the seating position where it is with the Kruesi Originals step-up seat from Saddlemen. That thing will put you right up into See my legs? Got that nice bend in them. This is a Trask Performance Assassin turbo kit. It's running 8 pounds of boost on pump gas on a modest 135-inch Harley Davidson crate motor. It's making a mild 202 horsepower and 189 foot-pounds. It's also mated up with a new Kruesi Originals swing arm manufactured by Archetype Manufacturing. This is the first one, the prototype. These are going on pre-order as we speak. These are made to order. They are a serious piece right here. This thing is made out of like level 7 aluminum or stage 7 or some sort of, they brought 7 gods together, crushed them into one fucking thing, and it's now a swing arm. There you go. You want to know what happened to the old gods? We turned them into a mother effing swing arm. She's bad. She is for sale. Final up, Legend suspension all the way around, Archetype risers, ODI bars, all the good stuff. I would say, and the final part is this carbon fiber fender from Blockhead Moto. My final on it, it's an OEM replacement. It's a really beautiful OEM replacement fender. The carbon is nicer than anything I've used, any other company that I've worked with. I think I've worked with just about every company out there parts-wise, not worked with the company directly, but we've used their parts on different builds over the years. And there's a lot of nice carbon companies out there, but this is just a different level. The integrity of the carbon, this feels like it's coming from a professional carbon company, not a motorcycle guy who's now making carbon fenders. Or I bought a carbon mold, or I'm figuring this out on my own. This seems like it came off an F1 race car. I cut it up. This is a new shape. Maybe Blockhead has something like this available soon. Maybe he doesn't. Who knows? But I'd go knock on his door and tell him what's up. And if you're looking for carbon, theirs is probably the stuff that I would buy because it is super, super high quality. They lined up with the right people and they made a quality part. And thank you for watching. It's KruesiOriginals.com. It'll all be available there. Every $5 you spend enters you in a chance to win a custom motorcycle. Thanks for watching. Peace.